we'll be having a conversation around some of the digital work that we have done in Edo State, leveraging digital technology for poverty reduction and socio-economic development. Lessons from Edo State. This is just about a DigiLink project. For about close to a decade, Edo State has done a lot of work in the digital infrastructure and a lot of other things. In September this year, Edo State became a state that went paperless. Last year, Edo State became paperless, and we know that the SDG 1 says that we end poverty in all its form, and we've seen a subnational entity like Edo take that and make that materialize, and we believe that that could happen in every other state. We're going to be looking at 4 key issues today, looking at issues around digital literacy and access, tech for economic empowerment, combating digital exclusion, and tech-enabled decision-making. We're making decisions. We need everybody that's we're making those decisions for to be in the room while those decisions are being made. Without taking much of your time, I quickly want to, first of all, introduce the Commissioner for Digital Economy, Science and Technology at Edo State. His name is Honorable Ifaluyi Isibo Ogbeide. Can you come up to the stage, sir? Hello. So, good afternoon, sir. A lot has gone on in Edo State, especially in the past 1 year, on the BMGF DigiLink program. I want you to give a brief overview of that program and how it has affected the underserved and hard-to-reach areas in Edo State.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am deeply honored and privileged to sit before you this afternoon to share a little bit of the Edo story and how far we've come. Thank you for the question. We hold the view very strongly that the technological development of Nigeria will start from the States. And Edo is at the forefront of technological development. And we're hoping that we can pull other states along so they can travel with us, through that digital journey to make sure that Nigeria moves forward and will make progress. So what have we done in Edo State? We are proud of the tenacity and enthusiasm we've put into digital transformation. And like you said, Edo State is still the first and the only state in West Africa to have gone paperless, completely paperless. What this means is that all government correspondence, mails and memos all happen in our ecosystem without paper. We have an ERP platform where we have that conversation, and just this morning we had ESCO meeting, and now we have elections coming up soon, so all members of the ESCO were in all different locations. But we could have ESCO as though we're all in the same location because of some of what we've done that I'll be sharing. We didn't stop there. Our going paperless has helped us improve efficiency, improve effectiveness, improve accountability and transparency. And we've also gone further to lay 2,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables across the state. We are the only state to have done that so far. We're connecting all local government councils in the states. Yes, thank you. We're connecting all local government councils in the states, and now we're connecting primary healthcare centers. We also did not stop there. We are the only state in West Africa that we know of to have a certified Tier 3 data center. This helps us, thank you. You should do a lot of clapping because there's a lot you clap for. Yes, so that helps us collect, clean, and store our own data, and also offer commercial services to others who are interested. And the baba of them all, the biggest news for you is that we didn't stop there. A few days ago, we launched EdoNet. EdoNet is a free, fast, reliable public Wi-Fi in over 150 locations across the state. So this means that we're opening up rural communities, we're energizing young people to become innovative and inventive using technology. But we didn't stop there too. What have we done with education? We have the Edo BEST, Edo Basic Education Sector Transformation Program, that allows us to have a synchronized curriculum, a synchronized pedagogy for all schools in the basic education sector. That is to say that we have one curriculum as a state, and what a child in the rural community is taught on Monday morning by 8 a.m., a child in Benin City is taught on Monday morning by 8 a.m. That means every child is taken along. And what has that given to us? We've seen a reduction in the number of out-of-school children, an increase in the number of girls now coming to school and staying in school because of how much we have used technology to improve education. We didn't stop there. Today in Edo, we have a very robust and sophisticated healthcare delivery system. Many of you know about telemedicine, but when you hear about telemedicine, is what you hear about, in the developed countries. But today in Edo, we now offer telemedicine. I thought you should clap. Yes, because we have internet connectivity across the state, PHCs can now connect with secondary healthcare delivery systems in the city to have doctors communicate and solve more problems. Are we improving the lives of women? Yes. Are we improving the lives of girls? Yes. Are we improving the gross happiness index of Edo people? Yes. But we didn't stop there. We also have apps that we're designing for farmers to enable them monitor maybe the temperature of their poultry farms. If it's too warm or too cold, now they have apps on their phones that they could use to monitor that, while improving the yield, of course, in agricultural production, and while making agriculture more meaningful to farmers. Yeah. So you asked the question. Oh, okay. More questions?
Yeah.
But no, we didn't stop there. But let me have him ask this question.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, what could other states, because Edo State is the first in a lot of things when it comes to ICT. So what could other subnational governments in Nigeria and Africa learn and adopt from Edo State, in your view?
I think the first step would be committed and dedicated leadership, because we wouldn't have been able to achieve all of this if we did not have a governor who understood the value of technology and the role it plays in socio-economic development. Also, we've been able to have very amazing partners. And please put your hands together for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the PIC, and the NASG. They've helped us to do amazing work in Edo State, and we're proud of it. Now, before I go further, we're also the very first state to now have a digital policy. And like I said, the PIC helped us make that happen, and so we're grateful. So what can other states learn or borrow from us? We are willing to open up that space to have that conversation, but we would appeal to them, first of all, to be deliberate about selecting their leaders. Because the quality of a leader is directly proportional to the quality of development that will come to that society, which is directly proportional to the quality of leaders that you elect. And so it starts from the people understanding that leadership plays a vital role in societal development, and they play a vital role in choosing those leaders.
Thank you very much, Komish. Thank you very, very much, Your Excellency.
Are we done?
Yeah, I'm going to call up others to join us and have a broader conversation. Please, can we give him a round of applause, please? I would now like to call up to the podium the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Digital Economy, Science and Technology, Mrs. Yoa Naps. Please let's give her a round of applause. I would also like to call up the Managing Director and CEO of Edo Innovates, Mr. Precious Asemota. I also want to call up the Managing Director, CEO of Edo Dida. Edo Dida is the governance and digital management agency of the state, Mr. Osa Bazwaye. I also want to call upon the policy lead for the Policy Innovation Center, Mr. Mayokun Adedira. Can we please give him a round of applause? We have with us also the Program Director for Public Digital, Ms. Andidiong Okon. Please, let's give her a round of applause, please. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having all of you. All of us on this stage, we conversant with the work that has gone on in the states, Edo State. So I'll be talking, first of all, to Precious, looking at Edo Innovates. I would like to know what would you say it is for the underserved and those hard-to-reach areas? The startups, we just hear a lot of things. Startups, a lot of seminars. What is in it for the poor in Edo State?
Okay, so for Edo Innovates, I think our approach has been very well thought out. So for marginalized communities, we have two major ways in which we have approached it. And one was first the training of young people, starting from 15 to 21, very young age, who are people that are coming from homes that are poor. We take them for a year, a number of them, up to about 100, and they stay with us for a year. And within that 1 year, they become professionals, whether in web development or product design. And the beautiful thing about that is that within those age, we've had success stories of people, young people who are now actually earning in dollars, And second point is that, and these people are just barely 17, and they have become breadwinners for their families, right? And then one of the good problems, in quotes, that we are having with that program now is that many of the young people now who are now qualified and are now working with, places like IBM, they don't want to go to school again. They don't want to go to the traditional school. And so now we have a lot of parents' conversations, so they have to come to the hub and with their children, and then we have to talk with them and have to propose, okay, can your children opt for the online universities, maybe like Nextford and the rest. And so far, most of them are now towing that path, And the second approach would be the one for startups. Startups are like the point where after you learn a skill, you want to now use your skill. So what we started doing was that we started opening up to partners, like the Gates Foundation and NESG and the other people. And one of the things that they've done for us would be to start giving startup incentives, equity-free grants. And, like the commissioner said, it started first from His Excellency in 2022, where we had a conference and he decided to give a number of them startup equity for them to start their products, find product market fit and all that. And then Gates Foundation came in and said, okay, why don't we boost that? And then they gave us $800,000. And that $800,000, as I speak, first and second tranche has been given to 50 of these startups, and they already have products, and some of them already have employed people, which has transferred to commerce and all that. So those are the two approaches we've been using, and those are some of the successes we've had.
Thank you very, very much, Precious. Over to you, Naps. Based on your position as a permanent secretary, how has the ministry been fostering policy-enabling environments to achieve digital inclusion among women and the marginalized groups?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's no more news that in Edo State, we are very intentional with the way we do our things. Technology for us, it's the way we want to live. So fostering communities where technology is the bane or is the platform where not only the state government staff, the citizens will dwell. If we look at how we have engaged, we are very inclusive in the way we think. So to make sure that our digital policies and all the things that we have built around technology happens, we've had to do stakeholders meetings, having conversations around communities. We are lucky as well, like the Honorable Commissioner said, we had very good partners sitting with us. We've gone to all the 18 local governments of the state. And luckily for us, we have sectors that we brought to bear. We have the tech community, we have the MSME community, we have the women group, we have the market women, we have students in tertiary institutions, we have the NGOs, we have the ISPs and the telcos. Not leaving out the public servants themselves. So we built all our engagements around everybody. And the big part of it, again, was the PWDs. How do technology sit with them? Because a lot of people, again, Edo leads in many fronts. A lot of communities engage without inclusion. For us in Edo, the women, the PWDs, the students in the school, who we know use technology more than everybody else, were on the table. The engagement, we had over a year's engagement with everybody so that we can get everybody's buy-in in creating a digital policy that works for everybody. Everybody has had one or two contributions in the way in which Edo has built its digital policy. Our policy is a living document. We will keep scaling up as technology evolves. Thank you. I think I'll stop now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Yuan Abs. I'll go over to Mr. Bazwaye now. You know, I know that part of what you have been doing is you want to use data to inform the policy of government. How is that going?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Well, I would just also like to mention that the Gates Foundation has also been very supportive. Last year, based on the landscape assessment, birthed the agency which I head. And the agency which I head is the Digital Governance and Data Management Agency. So what are we trying to do, or what also support have we gotten? Currently, we are developing a governance portal, a governance platform using the DHIS2 platform, which is very scalable, and the support from the Gates Foundation by also giving us a grantee in Data Science Nigeria has given us the opportunity to have data sets from a lot of collate data sets from the MDAs within the state. So what we are doing is we're getting data sets from agriculture, getting data sets from education, from health, from numerous ones, and we're validating these data sets. We're using advanced learning architecture towards mining this data to also help and support executive leadership with their decision making. So we're finding situations where data sets from agriculture can be mapped with data sets from health or even education or physical planning. And the outcomes that we are getting from these data assets are providing executive leadership with the trendings, the trends, the outliers, you know, areas for intervention. Executive leadership have dashboards where they can actually visualize and see and monitor activities that is happening within government. So that's one of the very, very good quick wins we've had. Secondly, we've also created a platform where we have like a citizen feedback mechanism, which we call Edo Voice. And within this citizen feedback mechanism, we have volunteers across all senatorial districts, where with your handset, if you see a bad road, You can take a snapshot, the data feeds are populating into our portal, and we can actually reroute or direct those incidents or instances to the MDAs so that there can be proper interventions in terms of all those areas that are affected. So data is playing a predominant role in our decision-making process, and data is a journey, but as we evolve, we're definitely sure that we're going to build a very integrated and comprehensive data ecosystem for the state, and most especially for governance. To also add to that, one of the key deliverables we also have is putting together a One Edo portal where citizens can actually access government services. So you want to register for birth certificates, you want to pay your land tenement dues, your levies. You actually have one platform where you can actually go on there and pay for those sorts of services. And we're not only stopping there, we're also trying to also create physical touch points, proxy touch points, because we know not everyone is technology savvy, but within these physical touch points and proxy touch points across the state, within our local government areas, you would have desk officers, you would also have ward officers that can also address the non-technology savvy citizens so that they are also not left out. So as an agency, we're building that gap, and we're working towards ensuring that the data collected is pretty much used towards ensuring that decision-making from the states has, this proper granular insights, and, it helps with our planning, and it helps with our forecast as a state going forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. I would like to announce that we have the managing partner of CC Hub joining us virtually, Mr. Oluwaseun David Adeboju. So please want us to give him a round of applause. He's online. So over to you, Mayokun. You've led the work in Edo, looking at the policy work. I'd like to know how can other states, based on that work you've done in Edo, how can other states learn from that work to close that digital divide gap that you noticed while you worked?
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. So I would start by saying one of the things that helped, our work in Edo State was that the state was already, undergoing a program or an intervention where they were trying to lay fiber optics to, the rural areas. And, that helped even our thinking around how to frame policies, because if, for instance, digital infrastructure or connectivity issue is there, you can't talk about, using tech to solve problems and then how that can translate into developmental outcomes for people in the rural area. So one key thing that is very important is to ensure that, there is access to internet connectivity. And that's one key thing that the state did actually. So then we now begin to talk about, once there is access to internet connectivity, how do people, use these to make money, to, increase their capital and all of that. Then we begin to talk about access to digital technology like mobile devices. And these are interventions that are very important. And again, I would also speak about, digital literacy and skills for the underrepresented population or underserved population. This is very, very important. And so if you are talking about digital literacy and skills, this has to be very tailored to the needs of different subpopulations. For instance, if you are looking at market women, all they need is ability to be able to navigate mobile phones that are, not sophisticated, for them to be able to do financial services like, transfer, have access to loans, linkages to market, with that you can increase their opportunities, economic opportunities. And I'm saying women because, evidence has found it that women are underrepresented when it comes to, access to these, and they are unable to participate in the digital economy fully. So if we are able to ensure that, number one, there is digital literacy and skills for different subpopulations, this is very key, and also access to mobile technology that is not sophisticated, that can link them to markets, that can help them to scale up their businesses. And I would also want to say that, for young girls and young population, education is very important, right? Right, so more or less like catch them young. If they have access to education, the opportunity is limitless. They'll be able to participate in the gig economy, and then with that, they can even make money in foreign currencies. And with that, that trickles, down to different strata in the society. They'll be able to take care of their family, they'll be able to take care of even community. So with these approaches, although there are many other approaches, but I've just highlighted a few, we will, over a period of time, be able to close that digital divide gap that we are talking about. And if you're able to do that, that will translate to improved economy, because one of the key things we found in the study we conducted in Edo State is that you can link digital economy, you can use digital technology to accelerate prosperity. And this is one of the ways by which we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was so incisive, Mayoko. Over to you, Eddie. We've heard and understood what the ED of Edo Dida had said. Yes. What are the implications for the improvement of lives and access to services for people in Edo State?
Thank you for your question. So with the work we're doing with the Digital Governance and Data Management Agency, we came into Edo State and saw that there was a lot of effort by the state in improving access to government services, but they were done in silos. People were not working together. So our goal was to put together an agency. My organization, with the support of the Gates Foundation, helped to set up the Edo Digital and Data Governance Agency. So we put together an agency that will help bring together all of government services and the data that government is gathering from interacting with its citizens, and provide better services to even the most marginalized communities. And how we sought to achieve that was by working together to understand what each MDA within the state is delivering as a service to citizens, understand the different touch points in which the government actually interacts with its citizens, and see the way that we can make services more accessible. One of the things we've done in the course of our project is put together what we call a design system. And this is helping rethink and redesign the way governance is done and support the MDAs in putting a face value and a brand for the government in a way that citizens can easily identify what legitimate government services look like. A key example I want to touch on is the work that the agency is doing with GIZ, and we have come in to collaborate with them as technical partners. And that work entails making government services more accessible for MSMEs. The end goal of that is to improve the ease of doing business for MSMEs across the state. And we are considering MSMEs because they're the ones that they tend to be a go-between and deliver other services to citizens, and are a good voice of the citizens because it's owned by women, is owned by young people, and some of the marginalized people in community fall into the category that is regarded as a medium or small enterprise. So we're putting together a data bank that is going to gather all the information about MSMEs and see how they interact with government. In our early conversations, we've already seen that some of the stressors are the way they are taxed. So we're rethinking how government actually taxes these MSMEs and how they can access government services. And the bigger goal of what the Edo Digital and Data Management Agency is to think of the big picture of social benefits transfers. I think Mr. Bazoaye did not touch on the other piece of work that they're doing around the residency ID. which we're thinking about how to build on the residency ID that Edo State is already rolling out and see how we can make it more inclusive, financial inclusion opportunities and social benefits transfers from the government to its citizens.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Edidio, for that. We have an online, we have the managing partner of CC Hub. I don't know if we can spotlight him. So I want him to speak to the ecosystem work that is going on and how women participation in tech and digital is being encouraged by the work that's being done with Edo Innovates. Adebojo, can you hear me? Is he on? Okay. So I'll just ask the PS one question. What are the practical approaches that you recommend to ensure that everybody, no one is excluded digitally?
Okay, so given the fact that, well, one or two core mandates for the ministry is to develop policies and implement them, and also to make sure no one is left behind. We, on behalf of government, have looked at it critically to say that the communities, how are they tying themselves into the whole digital plan for the state? We know that the cities are super saturated. Every day they are there. Edo is not a state where technology is in the past. We are very savvy with technology. So we looked at the groups, the women, the PWDs, how do they relate with government's plan? So we decided to take technology awareness to communities. If you listen to my commissioner, he said to us that Edo State government had laid fiber in all our local government area. And we thought, okay, if we want to grow our socio-economic power for women and the, the PWDs, how do we do this? So we have gone to them. We thought about the three legs of the pot: the government, the academia, and the industry. If one leg is missing, the pot doesn't stand well. And most times, the pot usually have one leg, but Edo has decided that the pot must have three legs. As we speak, we've partnered with Liverpool, Jomo University, and Igbenedion University. Igbenedion University sits in Edo State, so we think we like homegrown things as well. We have been building digital skills for women entrepreneurs in communities. And one of the things that had come out, even while we were doing our survey across the 18 local government, was that most women entrepreneurs in our communities don't even know what technology can do for them. Some of them are the breadwinners of their home, but guess where their bank accounts are? With their husbands. So their business fund goes to their husband's phone. And they don't even know how much gets into that pot because their husband takes the money, spends it. Again, we also looked at the culture. Some part of it says women should be seen, not heard. They are not allowed to make their own money. Even when they make it, somebody else spends it. So we decided, let's build their skills. You can't be using technology without the requisite skills. So we started building skills, digital literacy and financial literacy, teaching them what to do, how to use technology. In all of this, we also took it a step further. If you will have learned about technology, then what? Then what? So we began to answer that question by providing for them simple handheld Android phones. We're teaching them how to digitally capture their products, how to get on the e-commerce space, how to grow their own wealth within their own communities. We've also started partnering with telecommunication companies. Don't rush me now. You asked for my story, so let me say this. So, thank you. So the telcos are partnering with us to be able to drive down the cost of data, because we believe that high cost of data is also a disadvantage to people in those communities. People in the city, yes. But community, there's a whole lot. We're also looking at power. We're partnering with BEDC to provide light, alternate source of energy, whatever will make their technology work in those ecosystems. And we have seen real good numbers now. Women come in with businesses, they're asking all kind of questions, they're opening bank accounts, they're able to own their own space and do businesses. Our story is a good one to tell. We like to tell it all the time, but Dr. Cornelius does not want me to tell all my stories. So permit me to stop here.
So thank you very much, Yuan Apps. I'll quickly want to take one question from the audience. It's going to be the first hand I see up. I see your hand up. So please, your question.
Yeah, my name is John M. David, and what I want to ask is about, I've had at least...
to your question, please. Go straight to your question, please.
Yes, I need to lay a background for the question.
No, we will not have time for a background. Go straight to your question, please.
The Melinda Gates Foundation you're talking about, we've heard so many things about it.
Go straight to your question, please. Can I get someone else, please? Come, take the... Go straight to your question.
The Melinda Gates Foundation you are talking about, is it the one into a reduction of the population, the corn that is vaccine oriented, or which one are you talking about? Is it the one that is assisting? Because I have a lot of you saying assisting on this digitization. Now we have a different view of Melinda Gates. What do we do about that? And how does that help in digitization? And if what I'm saying is true, what are your plans in the future? Should any of these want to come into Edo or Nigeria from the back door, what is the plan of the panelists to address this?
Thank you very much for your question. So,
yes, I can answer. The story we have is the story we know. I don't know about the story you know. But for us in Edo, our partners, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they have helped us move forward and make progress in almost every facet of our economy. And that is why we see it as an advantage for subnationals to have international partners, because there's a whole lot our budget cannot handle. But when we have partners, foreign and local partners, we can speed up our development. We talked about education. Now in Edo State, due to the RIN, the residency identification number, when a woman brings her daughter to school and her daughter stays in school, she gets free health insurance. Is that prospering the education of the child? Is that also offering health for the family? Yes, and if we're having the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation offer assistance in that aspect, I think it should be celebrated. Secondly, we have tabs distributed all across our public secondary schools. We have had the help also of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to make that happen. That is prospering education. That is seeing us do better in local and national exams. Is that improving the quality of the lives of the people if education is improved? Yes, so I think these are the positives, just a few of them that we've had with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and all other partners that we've had. So to your question, to the other side of the question, I may not be able to answer that because I do not have that information about the BMGF. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. We will not be able to take the question. The time for this session is over. I want to say that the Policy Innovation Center, the host for this event, we have a feedback mechanism where we want you to give us your feedback, and you could use the QR code. After this session, you could just go outside. You're going to see research assistants, and they'll support you to take these they are actually digital screens, and they could tell you what to do. I want to thank very much my panelists. Thank you so much, Asemota, UNAPS, Komish, Mayoku, Osa, and Eddie. Thank you so much for the work you've done in Edo. And I want to thank DigiLink, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Please, I want to give them a big round of applause. They made this session happen. So thank you very much. I appreciate you.